Hello guys, how are you doing? I've got a mail today, a couple of items, so I figured after posting stuff about Tasker, I'll have a short live stream with you, just to unpack a couple of things and tell you what I'm going to be doing in probably end of this month, hopefully, if I've got time, because we're all homebound, so I'm not going to leave anywhere. If in case you've not noticed, everything's working? Oh, there's a big delay. There's like 20 seconds delay right now. Wow. I should have probably set a low latency live stream. Okay, so we about, well, you are about 20. Have you have the Pro? Pro. I have under 3. No Pro. No Pro. So the idea being is that I wanted to figure out, because I've got one of the cheapest printers, because, well, I'm a budget person. I wanted to figure out if it's worth making the upgrade, how much money you should invest in a cheap printer before you should consider a better printer, and then if to check if the upgraded printer, if it's worth it. So I'm gonna have a print setup on the upgraded Ender 3. I have access to stock Ender 3 to print the same stuff at the same time, and also I will try to find a printer that is more or less price-wise the same as Ender 3 plus all the upgrades I will install on it. So some of the upgrades gonna be 3D printed, and some of the upgrades they're going to be bought in a shop. So that's the plan for the 3D printer. So first of all, don't know if you know, but a bit of a self-promotion there. Just posted a new article on Not Enough Tech. Oops, that's not this one, I want this one. So you can now disable and enable apps with a fingerprint. So there's a couple of things that you can do actually, including monitoring the FID and creating like a Tasker security system to see who was unlocking a phone. So if you're interested, that's got posted just literally now. And coming back to me, we're going to take a look at what arrived today and see, and I'll tell you more about the items. So let's get started. Let's make this cam. That's this cam. Yeah, that's the. So this is a stock. Maybe I should actually start with showing you my printer, because there is already a couple of things added to it. So let's take a look. I hope my cable is long enough. Hold on a second, we'll see. So this is a Ender 3 right now. You'll notice that something's missing here. There's usually a unit. So I have a camera, which I also reviewed for monitoring via Octoprint. There is a couple of small upgrades. There is this mainly for transport. This is not to keep this straight. I also have in here a guide, which is on a bearing that helps to guide the filament. And there is a custom knob to help me out with extrusion and to change and the filament changes. You will see also random clips that I've done to kind of cable manage this. What are you doing? Alcides? I hope I pronounced this right. And also at the pocket, let me just move the bed slightly. There is a belt in here to keep everything organized, and at the back, as you can see, all electronics is right now in here. So I have a Octoprint in here, and I have the motherboard in here. So and on the other side, don't know if I can access it. I'll try to do it like this. So you'll see that I have a sun-off, so I could monitor the power use and disable, enable the fans, etc. And I have a separate power supply in here, which feeds the Octoprint. So I can have a printer off while Octoprint is enabled, and I can use the Octoprint to turn on the printer remotely, which is nice because you don't have to deal with all that noise. So let's have a look and see what we can open up today. Hello Rory, you alright? Sorry you couldn't stay, Rory, but nice to see you. So there's a couple of things that I've got sent from Banggood. There's a couple of Creality things and a couple of not creating things. So let's start with the biggest item in here. You probably know what that is. Or I have a standard. Let me just. Oh, I've actually forgot to mention this. I've recently printed out this, which is just for filament. So you put the filament on rolls. You can adjust the how wide the spool is, and it just rolls in here. So that's the filament guide that I'm going to be using. So that's the last upgrade I did. Okay. I put my Octopi below this screen. Yeah, that's a good idea as well, just to put it there. So that's definitely something I would be looking for. I'm actually considering moving the screen away. So as you know, on the default Ender 3 printer you have this flexible, I'm just unmounting it, flexible mat. It is, I should have cleaned it, this is still my last threads on here, I've not cleaned it. So this is just a standard mat. I don't know what it's made of, but you can bend it slightly and you can remove the print easier. So this is the standard mat, and in here, as the box probably right now is giving it away, there are different surfaces because I want to see which surface is best for printing. So what I've got inside is, I have a magnetic one. So this is a magnetic one. It has 2 layers. So this is very flexible. It's actually very soft. You can see how easily it is to bend comparing it to this, and it's much thinner. I'll give you a profile. So this is how thick the original one and how it's the magnetic one. So this is I'm gonna give you a link for this, guys. So this is a magnetic plate. This is the one I've ordered, and the first impressions are really nice. It feels, on the top it feels like the normal mat, but the flexibility of it will allow me to actually detach it easier than from the standard mat. And by the looks of it, this is exactly the same surface finish as on the normal mat. So I'm expecting these two to kind of work in the same way. And this is just a kind of thermal magnetic thing. You can use this is the double-sided tape, just to peel it off, stick it on the surface, and then the magnet itself isn't very strong, but if you apply it on the entire surface, it's actually quite difficult to detach. You would have to peel it. You can't just detach it like this. You have to peel it. So you have this lip in here, and just to peel it, and you can remove your print. Now the advantage of having this actually is that you're not going to use these, and I've noticed that when I was queuing up. So you're not going to use these anymore, and I've noticed that when I had a bigger print overnight, I've populated the entire area. Actually, my extruder caught up on these and caused a bit of a issue. So it's worth having that extra space just at the edges in case you want to use entire print volume. So that's the mat I've requested, and I'm super eager to try out. And I'll definitely gonna be posting differences on how to use it with this mat and how to use it with the standard, and if it's worth spending extra money. So that's the first thing, but that's not the only mat I've got actually, because I have another one. That's why the box is so thick. This is a glass one, so this is a glass surface, and I'll give you a link for that one as well. So this is the glass plate I've ordered. This is from Creality as well. So that's the link for that. And yeah, it's just pretty much a piece of glass with a tiny bit of, I don't know, it's like a vinyl or something similar, just over it, just to create a little bit of a more, I don't know, just to remove the fingerprints. And yeah, but there is a little bit more grip than not just on a piece of glass, so I'll be really tempted to give it a go and see if the glass bed is way to go. So I have 2 beds for that. So let's put the beds in here. Right now, let's get rid of the box. And there's a couple of other things that I've actually have. So we'll start with extruder. So I have a dual gear extrusion. That's the link, and this is this. So, and it comes in a bag in that obviously it's wrapped. I kind of help myself to see. So inside we're gonna have a couple of aluminum bits, and you have to assemble it obviously, and I guess it goes like something like this, I guess, I would imagine. And you have this set of different bits that you have to assemble. I don't think I have a guide on it, but so this one is probably to get in on this side. This one, I don't know if it goes all the way. Let's have a look. Yes, it does. So you have two proper ones to guide the filament through, and you have all those small bits to make it work. So you have a pin to create a hinge, so it probably goes like this, and there is a spring to create a tension, and all the bits. So basically I'm going to swap my extrusion kit for this one. I meant to be slightly better. Is it a plastic one? Yeah, the one I have, it is plastic one, so that's gonna be a slightly better upgrade. It feels more sturdy, and I hope it's gonna well, provide some bigger consistency in terms of filament delivery. So that's the one of the upgrades I've purchased. Let's put it back together. I'm gonna build a printer at some point. And probably make a video about all the upgrades. So next up, this one doesn't have any box. Well, it came kind of in a padded envelope, so it was secured. And this is a touch screen control. So this is this. It's 1.1. Sorry, is it 2.4? I don't remember. I think 2.4 inch touch screen. There's a knob, there's a reset button, there's a buzzer in here, and in here we've got USB, and you have a SD slot, and that works with a standard board and also works with SK boards as well. So I'm looking forward to upgrading this into a touch interface, because to be honest, the interface I've got, I don't really like it that much. And that's the plan. It comes with 3 cables, 3 ribbon cables to connect it. Hopefully they're long enough, and I'll be able to have a touch interface and a little bit better experience, especially with what comes next. Because I've got this screen, I needed to have a compatible motherboard, so I treated myself to a compatible motherboard. And this is also 3Tech, big 3Tech, I can't pronounce this. So this is this. And inside you will see that there is a couple of heatsinks, nice blue color. There's a custom cable. There's the duck. Cute. So there is a duck, no instructions, and the board itself. So let's take a look inside the board. Oh, there is an SD card as well. Well, that's nice. I've noticed there was like 128. Yeah, that's 128 gig. Yeah, right. No, not gonna happen. It's a 128 megabyte card. And this is the board itself. And yeah, definitely going to be looking into hooking this up and connecting this to the Ender3. And this is a SK R Mini E3 V.1.2. So that works with my screen, and it's probably working with the last upgrade that I have got in my box, and probably the most useful upgrade that you can get for Ender3 or any printer is, in this case, it's called BLTouch, and this is a self-leveling probe. And it's this is amazing. Why this is amazing? This is amazing because leveling the printer, if you print stuff, you know that leveling the printer, I can just open the box for you. Leveling the printer is the most annoying thing that you can do, and having that being leveled automatically means you can operate it remotely without, as long as you clean the surfaces, without being disturbed. So what inside it's got is that, what is this? So, I need something sharp to open this, I think. Yes, definitely I need something sharp. Do I have some? I have a head things. Hello from Norway, Super Johnny. How are you doing? How's your evening? So we're talking about 3D printing parts. So in here we have, what do we have in here? There's a cable wrapped around. Is that a stick? It looks like a stick, to be honest. It is USB stick. See, it is a USB stick. So it's kind of like a, yeah, it is a connector into a USB. So what's the connector from here? Okay, so it's kind of disconnect. Okay, I get you. So you can use that via USB, and you can use that as a disconnector, I guess. Fair enough. I think mine supports the connector on the motherboard. I'm definitely gonna have a read through it. So that's one of the things that you have inside. And then there's another bag. There's a bracket that you can use to mount it. There's a couple of different mounting screws, so I'm not going to bother with them. What else do we have inside? There is obviously a probe, and looks like we have a spare tips. Yes, there are spare tips. So that touches the bed, and I will measure the distance, and there is a spare one in here as well. So there's only one spare, and it's really gentle, so you have to be careful with this. Okay, so that goes back to where it belongs, because I don't want to break it. That's the sensitive bit, and probably a couple of stops or something like that. Oh no, this is adapter, so we can connect in it via different, it's like IO expander. So this goes probably to a cable, and that goes into that different adapter on the motherboard. And what else we have in here? We have another adapter, which is a similar. It's a 6-pin. This one, that the previous one was 10 or 8. I don't remember. 10. So the 10 and 6 one. Definitely going to be using one of them or two of them. I don't know. So that's what's inside of this kit. So yeah, that's nice, and a couple of zip ties to organize yourself. So that's the plan. I'm gonna have an auto leveling on the Ender3, and we'll see what is the tolerance on that and how skewed your bed can be before you can actually destroy the print. It's going to be actually interesting experiment. So, and there's a couple of cables in here. So let's organize this mess. Excellent. So those are all the upgrades that was for the motherboard. So I've got a couple of upgrades to play with. I'm super excited, although I'm working from office, so I'm not that excited about working from office, because who isn't? I'm going to be away. Can I fit my screen in here? I guess maybe not. Let's see. Yeah, I should be able to, so I can put the cables inside. And those are Ender3 printer upgrades. So I have a little bit of 3D printed upgrades. I have some hardware upgrades. It will raise the cost of the printer for, I'd say, about $100 extra, or maybe similar. And I bought mine for $200. So I'll try to aim and kind of see if a $300 3D printer is better, or do you should rather go for upgrades and upgrade it. So that's the. And hello from Dubai. How are you doing? Prashant, I think. Sorry if I'm butchering the names. I'm not really good with this. So those are the updates, and obviously they're gonna go on my printer. If you just joined the stream, I'm just gonna give you a quick overview of what I have on my printer. So there's mostly the printers, 3D printed upgrades. So I have obviously in here I've got a camera setup which runs to OctoPi, and it's attached to a bed, so I could have a kind of like fixed motion, so I don't have the motion of the print. There is a filament guide on the bearing, which is really good actually. I would recommend this for everyone that have a 3D printer. There is a knob in here, customized with my logo, because why not? There is a holder for the rod. They don't have much utility other than, to be honest, for me, it's preventing the rod from being bent, because I travel with a 3D printer sometimes to high space, and that's why I decided to use this despite people complaining about it. Then I have a couple of these cable management things, and at the back you'll see that I've moved all the electronics to the back, so there is a motherboard is on this side, and on the other side you'll see that there is a Octopi on the Raspberry Pi, and on this side, on the power supply, I have a Sonoff which turns on and off the printer remotely, and there is a separate power supply which is split, so I can power up my Octopi and leave the 3D printer off. So right now those are the modifications. Obviously there is a mobile system as well. If you go to my website, let's go in here for a second, not this one. If you go to my website and go to 3D printers, you'll see all the modifications I've done so far. And one of them is the mobile notifications for 3D printer. And that allows you to receive mobile notifications during your print, and it utilizes the Sonoff and utilizes the Octoprint to produce you with pictures of the your printing progress, and some details of, including all those features in here. So it's really good modification. If you can do it, just go for it and follow this tutorial, and you'll get one as well. So let's take a look at the price. So magnetic bed is only like $13, so it's definitely interesting choice. I don't know if it's gonna be any better, but the ability to remove the print easily, it's definitely an advantage. Kind of thinking if I could create an arm that can remove that magnetic surface with 3D print and put a new one, that'd be great, because you can do it remotely. BLTouch is probably one of the more expensive upgrades, because it's nearly $50 right now, and I think it's going to be definitely worth it, because leveling the 3D printer so far, it's been the biggest nightmare. What else we had? We had the screen. So this is the screen I had. As you can see, it's a pretty nice screen. It's only $17. There is a SKR Mini E3, so this is the motherboard I got, and the extra exclusion, and I didn't mention the glass bed, which is similar price as well. So it's down to you whether you prefer the glass bed or whether you prefer the other one. So that's the plan for the 3D printer. Like I said, I might be tempted to kind of sit a little bit longer and build some of it. Not 100% sure, because I'm leaving tomorrow for work for a couple of days, so I'm not going to be around. Another thing that I would strongly recommend you to take a look at is my tutorial on smart door. I couldn't recommend it enough. I have a smart door right now that allows you to check if the door is locked and receive the notifications on your phone. Excuse me. I need to have a small drink. I have some coffee. All that talking kind of gets on the way, because I've been recording my video for the last 2 hours as well prior to the live stream, so my apologies. So yeah, the smart door upgrade requires you to have 2 door sensors, and then you can discover whether the door is opened or locked, or the open or closed and unlocked or locked, because it actually uses these sensors to latch into your door. That way you can actually tell whether your door is locked, and you can query Amazon Echo and Google devices, and you can get notifications on your mobile phone as well when your door is left unlocked. So that's something I did as well. Alright, I think that's pretty much everything I had in terms of showing off. Did I receive anything recently? Just like yes, but I had that in the last live stream, so yeah. From interesting bits, I don't know if I can, I'll see if I can show you. Let me have a look. So that's, let me change the camera so I could position everything better. So in the meantime, you probably noticed a couple of problems with my website. Now I'm working with a new layout of the website. This is lots of work that needed to be done, and as you can see, it's going to be slightly similar, but I've started to work on it on a Raspberry Pi 4, and now I moved it to Google Cloud. And when it's finished, I'm hoping to replace my website with this, and it's going to be a much better performance. And after 4 years, much needed update in terms of how it works on mobile devices, where it's 70 to 80% of my traffic right now, and everything else. So this is kind of work in progress. It takes a lot of time to kind of customize everything, and I have a couple of problems. But yeah, hopefully within the next couple of weeks that should be live, and you'll notice one day that the website works so much better. That's the plan. Okay, so I can disable this. Until then, there's like weird things when this doesn't stretch and I can't point out what happened. I've not changed anything and suddenly decided to crop this. So at this point I'm like, what's going on? Why this is happening? I don't want to fix it, because I'd rather be working on tutorials and writing new stuff than, you know, trying to fix the website, because I just want to post stuff and make sure everything works. So yeah, so unless you have any questions, I'm probably gonna go and rest a little bit from talking, because I've spent a fair amount of time talking today, and I can definitely feel it, and I will need my voice tomorrow for work. I hope everyone's healthy, no one has to stay home and exclude themselves from life, and that's pretty much it. In here, in UK there's no panic, I'd say. The media is panicking, but people seems to be alright, and the place I live is fairly quiet, so I don't expect any drama. My work is right now still from office, so I have to travel from work. If they change anything, they probably all know, and I'll have the ability to work from home, but that's not going to happen for another week for sure. So that's, I think, all from all the updates. I talked about new stuff. Do I have any projects that I'm gonna be working on? Let me just grab my note. I think I left my notepad downstairs, isn't it? Ooh. Yeah. Looks like it. So, unfortunately, no. I wanted to check if my notepad has any new information to what I'm gonna be working on next. I know there's gonna be something about Raspberry Pi coming. Two things I want to try. I want to see what is the speed of the Raspberry Pi as a Samba drive, so as a network attached storage over USB Type-C and over USB 3.0 and over USB 2.0, and run it against a this, which is Orange Pi, so see which one's faster. The second thing is I'm considering actually maybe buying a what's it called, Rock 64 Pine 64 Rock Pro. That's the one. Hello from Switzerland. How are you? So maybe we'll have 3 boards in that, and then I'll finally get around to build an upgraded version of my NAS drive, because it's been running on Raspberry Pi 2 ever since, and yeah, it still runs fine on Raspberry Pi 2 and delivers all the content. I don't stream in 4K, so I don't have a reason to go for 4K. So I think I'm just going to stick to 1080p, it's fine. My project is 1080p as well, so I don't have to worry about this. And yeah, there's gonna be also Shelly articles, because I have a couple of Shelly devices, which are buried right now, so I'm not going to do it. So I have a couple of Shelly devices that I should start writing about, but as you could imagine, there is not enough time for everything. I have so much work to do, and I'm trying to catch up with everything. So, I'll leave you be, guys. I hope you're gonna have a pleasant evening. I hope you're looking forward to my trip into upgrading Ender 3 and figure out, is it worth upgrading 3D printer, or whether you should just, you know, buy a better printer. So I'm looking forward to that experience. if I had to bet, I think I'm gonna see small improvements. Whether it's better than £300 printer, that we will see. I think it's gonna be better, but that's me. I might be completely wrong, but if I had to make bet, I hope it's gonna be better. Otherwise, I'll be really upset that the upgrades didn't make it better. So, yeah. I think that's all, guys. I'm going to have a bit of a rest, and later on I'll do some working on various stuff. So have a pleasant evening, keep safe, keep healthy, and get creative. So I'll see you in the next video or next live stream. I don't know what's going to be sooner, but I'll definitely see you soon. So take care, guys, and goodbye. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye.